Ahoy, my friends, Ryder here, and welcome back to another Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis video. Today, I am jumping into the latest Crisis Core story, and I'm going to be showing you guys a guide for how to beat the new extra section, Episode 1, A-Rejector Boss. Now, you're going to be going into this fight alone with Zack, and there's a couple different strategies for going about it. My strategy is going to involve just blitzing damage and debuffing him, just because I think if you're trying to heal your own debuffs and do too much with your ATB, you're just going to end up losing in the long run. Now, this is the first boss in the game that is going to be casting Doom on us. So early on in the battle, it's going to cast Doom, which is going to put a timer on your character. That timer is going to quickly reduce itself from 3,000. It's actually not too quick. But essentially, as you guys know, when that timer hits 0, it's game over, right? Let's take a look at the boss itself. Weakness Wind, Resistance Earth, Sigil Circle, all right? Now for the immunities, there's no magic attack, physical attack immunity, and no physical defense, magical defense immunity as well, which is fantastic because essentially this means that this boss can be debuffed in every way, shape, or form. Now we're not going to utilize all of those debuffs, but we are going to utilize some. Now, as for the boss itself, it's going to grant self magic attack up and use many powerful magic attacks. So we're going to be utilizing magic defense HP. At the start of the battle, it's going to inflict all targets with Doom. It's going to inflict magic defense down with Curse Gaze and Invoke Curse, and grant itself physical defense up and magic defense up with Guard Barrier. All right, so the things that we don't want to deal with, right? So I'm going to be building this Zack from scratch here. And I'm going to be going with a physical DPS build. So I'm going to switch Zack to the this build right here. Black Hound, boosts HP and attack. If you don't have this one, you could use the boost attack physical defense. By the way, you guys might be seeing I have this Arcanum. I did end up doing a little bit of pulls for the new banner. That video will be dropping soon, and it's a freaking sick one. I didn't go crazy on it, but I did get... Well, I'll just let you guys see it when it comes out. But anyway, we won't be going with that costume right here. You could go with the Valiant suit, but the physical defense won't really help you. You could go with the Shinra full dress uniform as well, or the Tropical Beach costume. Either of these, all of these I think will work pretty well. This one I think the best HP physical attack for him. In the first slot, I'm going to put the Ceremonial Sword Z. Great weapon, and on top of that, it has the Sigil boost for Circle right here. All right, so going down here, we are going to drop the Sigil boost for Circle in the third slot right there. Now for his secondary weapon, we could run the Falchion for Wind, but it's AoE, and what I want to do is run this instead. The Cutlass. This is going to give us a physical defense break, mid to high on the second cast. So if we run this with a Breach Materia, this is going to take one Breach Materia and one cast of this to hit high physical defense down, plus the physical attack up that we're going to get from the Ceremonial Sword. We're going to run that in his offhand right there. I am going to switch over to Apocalypse right here for his Limit Break so that we can interrupt the boss and buy us as much time as possible in this fight. Now for the sub-weapons right here, let's go back to the stats. And I'm going to get Zack under the required power for this fight. In the first slot, I'm going to put 1,000 Waves, HP Magic Defense, okay? And then in the third slot over here, I'm going to supplement or increase his physical attack. So let's go down here, slot whatever you have that's a strong attack component. So I'm going to put the Guide Gloves right here. All right, and I'm just going to leave the Black Whiskers for the physical attack up right there. Now, as for the main equipment here, in the first slot, I am going to slot a Breach Materia. All right, so let's find one of those. Not right there. Not right there. I think we've got one right here. This one's actually raising his attack power, so I don't want to raise it too much. Let's go with this one right here. That is Breach, right? All right, so that's our Breach Materia. Now here we are going to slot a Cura Materia because Zack is going to have to heal himself in some instances. All right, so for some reason our materia isn't loading. So let's go back out here. All right, so there we go. There we have it. And there's the one right there. I think that should be fine. Actually, we'll go with this one. HP, physical attack, and healing on it. All right, so our current power is 86,775, and the recommended is 89,200. Now, if we go over this build really quick, Zach is going to be sitting 86k, 8.7k HP, 3.6k physical attack, 125 physical defense, and 135 magic defense. Also, his R abilities are going to include HP at 3, physical attack 7, magic defense at 2. We've got some ability potency here at 2, and boost physical ability potency at 5. So pretty strong physical attacker. Apocalypse is going to be important for the limit break right here, and these are the sub weapons that we have chosen. All right, or chosen, that being said. All right, guys, so let's get into it. This fight, honestly, is one of the easier of the extra bosses. I'm going to show you guys how I go through this from start to finish, and I think that it should get you guys to clear relatively easily. All right, so this is the A-Rejector boss fight. At the beginning of this fight, I'm just going to slow this down for you guys. He's going to start casting Doom. I'm going to just let my ATB charge all the way up to the top, just so that I get the most out of my debuffs and my regular buffs. All right, so there's the Doom. Okay, once I get to the top, we're going to breach him. I'm going to wait just a little bit of time on the destructive swipe. Then I'm going to cast this. This is going to take him all the way down to physical defense debuff high. I'm going to hit the ceremonial swipe right here. That's going to give us physical attack up high. And hopefully I'll get off one more before that buff wears off right there. It is wearing off. They don't last too long. So I'm just going to go straight into another ceremonial swipe right here. Okay, so the boss is almost at half HP. When it starts to cast, oh, I guess I can't really interrupt it right here. All right, so let's go right here. I'm just going to keep on doing my thing. So we're going to ceremonial slash him once again right here. All right, so looking pretty good. And I think I'm going to hit myself with one heal right here. We should only have to do one heal in this entire fight. And hopefully, boom. Oh, it looks like I messed up that defense stance right there. Hopefully we survive. All right, so don't do that in your guys' fight. I'm going to interrupt him right here in a second once he goes to do something while I let my ATB charge. All right, so there it is. I'm going to get that off before he does his guard barrier right here. That will buy us just a little bit of time. All right, while also doing some damage, immediately going into ceremonial swipe. All right, so that's going to be before he gets off his barrier. And more or less, we are just going to take this guy down before he even gets to the sigil phase right there. So that's one way of doing this fight. Of course, if you're not running an OB6 ceremonial sword or the OB6 guide gloves in the sub weapons, it's definitely going to be a little bit harder. But I think that you just need to heal when you're getting down to around 25% HP. Just stack up your damage as much as possible. The boss is not too terrible. The sigil break is super easy to beat. That's going to give you a huge extra window there. And just utilize your limit breaks in order to properly take down the boss and interrupt him at the perfect times, which will buy you a lot of extra time in the fight. You can also use the breach materia to take off some of the tiers of his physical defense up, which should help your damage as well. That being said, I wish you guys the best of luck out there on this clear, getting those crystals and the little icon. If you guys enjoyed this video today, don't forget to drop a like, sub to the channel for more FF7 Ever Crisis content. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.